This is Max. He's a 10-year-old boy with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, or DMD. He's had to make some pretty big adjustments since he was diagnosed at 6 years old. But he isn't the only one. His parents, Joe and Sarah, have also had to make some changes since he was diagnosed. Let's take a look at how some of these adjustments have affected both Max and his parents. Good nutrition and a well-balanced diet is important for those living with DMD. Not only can DMD affect the muscles, but it can also impact the bones, gut, immune system, heart, and lungs. Nutritional guidelines can vary by age. For children up to 10 years old, the primary concern is weight management. It is especially important to monitor steroid therapy and reduce physical activity as they can contribute to increases in weight. This can become a problem over time because it can make movement more difficult and may increase Max's risk for developing obstructive sleep apnea. Corticosteroids may stimulate appetite and food intake, acting on the liver and fat cell metabolism to promote insulin resistance, hyperglycemia, and visceral adiposity. The steroids Max takes also impact his bone health, so it is important that his diet includes the appropriate nutrients like calcium, vitamin D, and protein. In addition, being underweight can also cause problems and make it more difficult for his lungs to function. So, what does Max eat? He's encouraged to eat a wide variety of foods from the 5 main food groups 3 times a day. That's fruit, vegetables, meat alternatives and eggs, dairy products, and grains and cereals. Max eats whole grain over white bread so he can increase his fiber intake to help control his glucose levels. He's instructed to take in dairy foods at least 3 to 4 times a day to increase his calcium levels. He also drinks water throughout the day with some milk in between to contrast an increased risk of constipation from weak abdominal muscles. Monounsaturated or polyunsaturated fatty acids, like those in fish, olives, oil, and nuts, are also a part of his nutrition plan. He does have to be careful if he has too much soy because they contain phytoestrogens, which can contravene the action of androgens like testosterone. Unfortunately, Max doesn't get to eat a lot of sweets or fast food because his dietitian says they are high in calories but low in nutrition. Instead, he has to have protein-rich foods at most meals. As he gets older, it may become more difficult for Max to swallow certain foods. Earlier this year, he had to switch to oatmeal instead of his regular cereal because the texture was easier to swallow for Max. This is just one example of the many adjustments Max has to make because of DMD. DMD patients like Max have a wide range of assisted technology to help them with education, recreation, and day-to-day activities. Text-to-speech software helps facilitate reading and audio learning for patients. Artificial intelligence like Amazon Echo helps patients control appliances while promoting ease of access to a wide network of DMD-friendly programs. When muscle fatigue becomes too much for mouse movement, webcam software can track head movements to act in place of the traditional corded mouse. These are just some of the many assisted technology options that have been developed to aid DMD patients in their day-to-day schedule. Many DMD patients have a significant delay in language milestones, which ultimately threatens to manifest in significant cognitive impairments later in life. Speech therapy is an intensive process by which specialists try to correct patients' speech by a variety of methods. Vocal muscle strengthening exercises, prolonged speech pronunciation exercises, articulation exercises, and phonetic practice are just some of the many components of speech therapy which not only benefit DMD patients in their language ability, but also in their mature cognitive ability. Having a son with Duchenne muscular dystrophy can be just as hard psychologically on the parents as it can be physically for the child. Learning of a diagnosis, given DMD's current prognosis, can take an extreme emotional toll on the parents of a patient. Counseling through organizations such as Parent Project Muscular Dystrophy offer resources such as emotional support, as well as education and genetic testing. The major modifications that have to occur to a home, such as modified showers and automatic stair lifts, often put an extreme financial strain on the parents of patients with DMD. There are services that help to shoulder the cost of home modifications. However, medical bills and other costs can quickly add up. Another resource Parent Project Muscular Dystrophy offers is a series of articles and webinars to assist parents with figuring out the complex insurance process and medical care and equipment accessibility. Between the emotional toll and financial cost, parents of children with DMD can be under significant stress. A 2009 study associated poor sleep quality with stress in parents raising children with disabilities. A child with Duchenne can have many adverse effects on the parents, with emotional, financial, and even physical stress plaguing many parents long after a diagnosis.
We hope you learned a little more about what it's like to live with DMD, both for the patient and the family. Thank you for watching.